Hello to everyone. This is Viewpoint on Noyan Tapan TV and I am Benyamin Poghosyan. At this episode, we will discuss the results and implications of the Turkish presidential and parliamentary elections. Since end of 2022, almost all experts, politicians, and even ordinary citizens who had any understanding of Turkish domestic politics, they were sure that President Erdogan most probably will not survive the upcoming Turkish presidential and parliamentary elections. At least, there was a clear understanding that Erdogan would lose the parliament and probably even Erdogan would lose the presidency. Although, many argued that Erdogan simply cannot afford to lose the presidency because this is not only the issue of its political future, this is issue of its personal future, of its personal security, but not only the issue of President Erdogan's itself. Hundreds of people in the circle of Erdogan, they may face the persecutions and other significant difficulties if Erdogan loses the power. So, the conventional wisdom were telling that either President Erdogan would lose the parliament and would keep the presidency, or Erdogan would lose both parliament and presidency. But then, May 14 arrived, and to the surprise of many, President Erdogan not only secured 49.5% of votes, almost 5% more than his main opponent, Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu, but also Erdogan and his other political allies, the most prominent of them is the Nationalist Party or MHP, MHP, they secured also parliament. Turkish parliament has 600 votes, and as a result of May 14 parliamentary elections, Erdogan and his allies secured more than 300 spots at the Turkish parliament. After May 14, it was very clear that Erdogan also is going to win the runoff of presidential elections, and which happened on May 28. Erdogan received slightly more than 52%, Kılıçdaroğlu slightly less than 48%. Of course, we may speak about polarization in Turkish society, but again, probably 2023 elections were more tough threats or challenge for President Erdogan since AKP, his party, came to power in November 2002. Now there are a lot of discussions and a lot of efforts to explain why Erdogan didn't lose, despite the terrible situation in Turkish economy, inflation of approximately 100%, despite the devastating implications of earthquake which took place in February 2023, and which proved that there are a lot of problems in Turkish construction sector, including rampant corruption. So it seems that every ingredient were there. United political opposition, main opposition party, Kemalists, part of nationalists, who is good party, and even Erdogan's former allies like Ali Babacan and Ahmet Davutoglu, and Kurds, they all were united against Erdogan. Economy was in catastrophic situation, and Turkey experienced a terrible natural disaster, earthquake. However, Erdogan won. Of course, now many try to understand why. Some argue that at the end of the day, for many Turkish voters in small, middle-sized cities and in rural areas, the pride for modern Turkey, the pride for Erdogan transforming Turkey into the real regional powerhouse, and with some goals or even to become a global powerhouse, they were more important than their ordinary living standards. Could be. However, world now facing a reality when President Erdogan will be president of Turkey until 2028. Of course, Turkish government needs to fix the economy. And in this case, they have only few options. First, probably Erdogan should somehow amend its non-orthodox economic politics and probably go for a little bit hiking the interest rates. But the key for Turkey and the key for Turkish economy is investments. Turkey desperately needs money, and this money can come either from international organizations like IMF, World Bank, which is controlled by Collective West. This money can come from Gulf monarchies like Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and potentially this money also can come from China. However, we will see what's going to happen. If Erdogan needs Western money, then he has a good chance to prove this by fixing Sweden's membership into NATO until July 2023 Vilnius summit. This will be indicator if Erdogan is really seeing somehow to a little bit improve its relations with the United States and other members of the collective West. Otherwise, Turkey may try to strengthen relations with Gulf monarchies. Starting from 2021, Turkey made efforts to improve relations with United Arab Emirates, with Saudi Arabia. In 2022, Turkey signed a swap deal for $5 billion with United Arab Emirates, and just a few days ago, Turkish Parliament and UAE ratified the agreement to reach the bilateral trade to $40 billion. So Erdogan is currently in the quest for investments because he understands that he needs to fix the economy. Probably, given Erdogan's previous legacy, he will try to move on both directions. A little bit improve relations with the West, probably with green light for Sweden's membership into NATO. Efforts to improve its relations with Gulf monarchies, somehow to decrease its support to the Muslim Brotherhood organization, which is a vital threat for Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. Also through decreasing support to Muslim Brotherhood, somehow to amend relations with Egypt. But also Turkey will continue its balanced policy on Ukraine, where Turkey simultaneously supports Ukraine economically and militarily, but also Turkey rejects to impose sanctions on Russia, and Turkey earns a lot of money by supporting Russia to avoid or circumvent Western sanctions. Tens of billions of goods are passing through Turkey, through Russia via so-called parallel import. And more we see Western criticism against Turkey that this should be stopped, that as far as Russian economy is not crippled, Russia will be able to continue its war against Ukraine. So now the collective West should go after everyone who supports Russia to avoid sanctions. However, given Turkey's unique position on Black Sea and on many other regions, Middle East, Central Asia, South Caucasus, Eastern Mediterranean, Northern Africa, Western Balkans, we see that West is very cautious to put additional sanctions on Turkey, while everybody understands that Turkey supports Russia to circumvent sanctions. And Turkey is doing so simply because this is useful for Turkey. Turkey earns significant amount of money, and also Turkey proves that it can be an independent regional powerhouse. Regarding Armenia-Turkey relations, the new phase of normalization process started in late 2021. Armenian officials were declaring that there could be no preconditions, Armenia would never accept any preconditions. However, from the beginning, Turkey was speaking very clear about preconditions, and precondition number one, the signature of Armenia-Azerbaijan peace treaty. And this became publicly clear after October 6, 2022, Pashinyan-Erdogan meeting at Prague, after which Erdogan publicly stated that he told Prime Minister Pashinyan, if you want real normalization, go and sign peace treaty with Azerbaijan accepting all Azerbaijani terms. If you are interested in the process for process, okay, we can discuss some symbolic gestures like opening a border for for the citizens of third countries. We can think about renovating some medieval bridges. Okay, if you are okay for this, Turkey okay for this. Symbolic gestures, nothing more, and the process may take years and years. But if Armenia is interested on real normalization, there is a clear precondition. Armenia should sign peace treaty with Azerbaijan based on Azerbaijani terms. And after these public statements, Armenia continued its efforts to normalize its relations with Turkey. Armenian foreign minister visited Turkey immediately after the earthquake. Armenia sent humanitarian assistance to Turkey after earthquake, and this humanitarian assistance passed through land border, first time since 1993, which means that de facto Armenian government accepts Turkish preconditions, and the Armenian government accepts that negotiations should continue based on Turkish preconditions. And Prime Minister Pashinyan's decision to attend the inaugural ceremony of President Erdogan's victory and a meeting with President Erdogan is a clear sign that yet Armenia understands that Turkey has preconditions, Armenia accepts these preconditions and will continue negotiations based on these preconditions. Which means that at the end of the day, if Armenia and Azerbaijan sign peace agreement by the end of 2023, then probably we will see real tangible actions and steps to normalize also Armenia-Turkey relations. Probably late 2023 or early 2024, opening of borders, establishment of diplomatic relations, and potentially moving forward for opening up embassies in Yerevan and Ankara. This is all for today, and we will meet soon.